Hey everybody, Nick Estes here. First of all, thank you for your interest in this class. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how wholesaling works and why you should begin here. All right. Now, wholesaling is a short-term real estate investment strategy to create quick profits. Now, the overall goal of wholesaling is to find properties that you can purchase below market value, and you'll gain control of these properties through a purchase and sale agreement. All right. Now, once you have this property under contract, you're going to locate a buyer who's willing to purchase this contract for you at an increased price. All right. So there's no need to overcomplicate it. You're simply a matchmaker. All right. You're not even purchasing the property. You're simply finding properties and matching them with cash buyers. Now, you're going to make the difference between what you get under contract for and what your cash buyer purchases it for. All right, so for example, let's say you put a house under contract for $100,000 and you assign that contract for $110,000, you're going to make the difference of $10,000, all right? It's very simple, very low risk. It doesn't require really any money out of pocket, so it's a perfect way to learn the business, before graduating into more advanced forms of real estate investing. So for that reason, I believe it's a perfect way to get started investing in real estate. And that's how I teach all my students because of its low barrier of entry. All right, so the overall strategy to wholesaling is built on three main pillars. You got marketing, which is finding undervalued properties, putting a home under contract, and then lastly, assigning that contract to a cash buyer. All right, now let me walk you through exactly how this process works. All right, number one, it all starts with marketing. Now, your goal is to find motivated sellers and undervalued properties through a variety of techniques. Now, when it comes to starting, you most likely will not have a huge budget. So here are three ways, you can start finding deals that won't break the bank and will give you a great ROI. All right, number one is bandit signs. Now, these are the little signs you see on the side of the road or attached to telephone poles. They usually say something like, "We buy houses for cash," or "Sell your house fast." Now, along with a phone number, right? Now, I recommend you put these up on a consistent basis in high traffic intersections in all the towns you're interested in buying in, all right? Stick them in the ground on a stake or nail them to a telephone pole. And I find that putting these signs out on Friday evenings is the most efficient. And with a correct message and frequency, I'm telling you, your phone will start ringing. These little signs will deliver you some of the highest returns on your investment. All right. Number two, now is driving for dollars. Now, this is one of the most tried and true ways to find deals. It's simple, inexpensive, and with consistency will bring you amazing results. Now, I want you to jump in your car, ride your bike, or even tie up your sneakers, whatever it takes, okay? Now, start getting in the habit of canvassing your targeted buying areas. Now, you should be doing this every chance you get for as many hours as possible. Do it before work, do it after work, do it on the weekends. And as you work your way through these neighborhoods, I want you to look for the following things, all right? Homes that look abandoned, peeling paint, broken windows, tarps on the roof, rotted wood, unkept landscaping, long grass, overgrown bushes, trash in the yard. Now, these are all indicators of a distressed home where the owner may be eager to sell, get some quick cash in their pocket. All right. Now, when you find these homes, I want you to do the following things. All right, number one, just write down the address of the home. All right, use a spreadsheet. Try to keep all your leads nice and organized. Number two, I want you to go to the tax assessor's website in the county the home is located in and look up the address of the home. Now, this page will tell you who owns the home. Now, you're going to want to write that down in your spreadsheet as well. Number three, then you're going to look for any alternative mailing address for the owner and write that down as well. Now, keep in mind, not every homeowner will have an alternative address. Now, in this case, just use the property address. Now, with this information, now you can either cold call or send them a piece of marketing material in the mail. All right. In just 1 second here, I'm going to show you exactly how to get the owner's phone number so you can call them. But first, the third way to find deals is to manually pull motivated sellers lists. Now, a motivated seller is someone who has a high likelihood of selling their home at a discount. Now, these sellers are usually facing some sort of a financial circumstance that you can help them out with by purchasing their property. I find that probates, which are properties that are left to a family member after someone passes away, pre-foreclosures, which is someone who's about to go in foreclosure for not paying their mortgage, and tax delinquent lists, which are people who are behind on their property taxes, are all great lists to start with. They all have motivation to sell and will usually let their home go for less than it's worth. Now, the great thing is, now all these lists can be pulled manually from your local courthouse for free. To get these lists, you're going to want to go to your local county courthouse. Now, each county office handles these notices slightly different, so I highly recommend you go in person so you can have the clerk assist you in your search. Explain the list you're looking for and ask them to walk you through the process. In most cases, you can get this information online once you figure out how the county publishes them, all right? Now, you want to keep a nice spreadsheet of all the homeowners so you can call them or send them a letter. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I call them and what do I say and what do I send them in the mail? Well, in order to call someone, you first have to use an online program known as skip tracing. Now, there's a bunch of different programs and services with some a lot better than others, obviously. It's fairly simple. You just input your seller's name and address in the program, and it'll provide you with the seller's phone number. Now, once you have the number, I recommend you keep the call, simple. Introduce yourself, let them know you're looking to purchase a home in the neighborhood, and see if they'd be interested in getting a cash offer for their property. Now, with direct mail, it can be more expensive, but it's still a great marketing technique. Now, you have a few different options when mailing, but postcards will be the least expensive option because you don't have to buy envelopes and the stamps do cost less. So for this reason, I do recommend you send mostly postcards, but you can send some letters and flyers too to break it up if you wish. Now, you can either print these cards yourself at a local printing house and address and stamp them, or you can use a mailing company to send them out for you. Now, you're going to want to state on these big and bold what you do and how you can help them. But keep in mind, even the greatest, most advanced marketing plan will never be successful without being consistent. All right, so it's imperative that you stick with your marketing plan if you want to see results. All right, now once your phone starts ringing, and you start talking to sellers about their property, you're going to want to qualify them. Now, during this call, it's important to build rapport. Now, this phone call is not about negotiating a price. It's about establishing a relationship. So if you genuinely care about helping your seller, this will come across during the call, and you'll be a lot more successful and be a lot higher conversions on your calls as well. So again, your goal is to build rapport during this call, gain information about the property. So what I like to get about the house is first get general property data, beds, baths, square footage, stuff like that. Then get information about the current condition, what's outdated, what needs to be fixed, what's been updated. All right, then find out if it's occupied or vacant. Now, if the home is vacant, they're going to be more motivated to sell. All right, find out if they have a mortgage. If so, how much is owed. And then finally, I'd like to get a ballpark price of what they might want for the home. Now, this will tell you how realistic they are, and this will help you for future negotiations. Now that you have this information, you're going to want to do all your homework, all right? Meaning, you're going to have to know how much the property is worth and how much you can offer on the property to make a profit, all right? So it's important to know this information before meeting with the seller, because once you're there, you'll be negotiating and hopefully signing a contract right on the spot, all right? So your first step to determine what a home is worth fixed up, okay? It's the first thing you have to do. Now, this is known as the ARV, or the after repair value. Now, what a home is worth is determined by what similar homes are selling for in the area. Now, in real estate, we call these comparable sold homes comps. So comps are the single best way to determine what a home's value is. And you can pull these comps a few different ways, but the best way is from the MLS, all right, which stands for Multiple Listing Service. Now, this is a database that houses all real estate transactions and is used by realtors to list homes. But if you don't have access to the MLS, you can use Zillow by using the sold function, okay? And it's very important you only pull the sold homes because listed homes on the market can be inflated as people, as you know, try to get as much as they can for the property. And this is not really a true representation of what homes are selling for. Now, a comp compares the criteria from recently sold properties in your area, all right, or the same neighborhood. Now, you're going to want to look for a few different things, all right? You want to find homes that are similar size. I like to find ones around 300 square feet up or down, okay? Similar bedrooms, similar bathrooms, similar age, and similar condition. Now, once you find 3 to 5 homes that match that criteria the closest, you're going to want to go ahead and get the average of those prices, all right, to come up with your home's value or the ARV. So, for example, let's say you find 3 houses that are very similar. One sold for $110,000, one for $120,000, and one for $130,000. You know your average is $120,000. Okay. So now that you know how much a house is worth fixed up, or the ARV, the next step to knowing how much you can offer is to estimate the repair costs to fix up the property, okay? And don't worry, once you become an expert investor and walk through hundreds of houses, you'll have no problem, coming up with a repair cost of any given house. But when you're starting out, an easy way to come up with a repair cost is to use my repair cost formula, all right? And this has 3 tiers, all right? Tier 1 is just basic cosmetic upgrades, paint, flooring, landscaping, a good cleaning, stuff like that, and that's $15 per square foot. Then you have my Tier 2. This is everything from Tier 1, but also updating the kitchens and bathrooms. That's $25 per square foot. Then you have Tier 3. This is everything in Tier 1 and 2, plus a couple big ticket items, right? So like the roof, HVAC, stuff like that. That's $35 per square foot. So for example, let's say you had a Tier 3 on a 2,000 square foot house. That would be right around $70,000. All right, now that you know how much the after repair value of the home is and the estimated repair cost to fix it up, the last thing you're going to need is my maximum offer formula to determine how much you can pay. Now, this formula is very simple, all right? It's the ARV, or the after repair value, multiplied by 70%. Now, this is the investor's discount, all right? Then you're going to minus the repair cost. Then you're going to minus your assignment fee, all right? And that equals your maximum offer. So, for example, let's say you have a $100,000 house. You times that by 70% minus whatever the repair cost is. Let's call it $20,000 repair cost minus your assignment fee. Call that $10,000. That would give you a maximum offer of $40,000. Now, keep in mind, this is the absolute maximum I would offer. So you're always going to want to start below this and work your way up during negotiations. I like to start around 15% below my maximum offer. Now, you're multiplying the ARV by 70% because this is the average discount investors are looking for that still allows them to make a profit on their end. Now, keep in mind 70% is the median, but every market's a little different. In more competitive markets like Miami, this is going to be closer to 80%, and less competitive like Pittsburgh would be closer to 65%. So as you start making offers, you're going to have to kind of feel these numbers out based on your location. Now, this discount is essentially the investor's profit in the deal and the reason why they're buying from you. So without this discount, they really have no reason to purchase your contract. Also, keep in mind, you can adjust the assignment fee to whatever dollar amount you want, all right? There's no set amount on this. The minimum I do recommend, though, is $5,000. Now, if these numbers check out on the phone and the seller seems motivated and the home appears to be a deal worth pursuing, based on the information you've collected up to this point, go ahead and schedule a time to meet with the seller at the property. Now keep in mind though, you're going to want to move quickly in regards to meeting with the seller because speed is important in this business. Now, when you meet with a seller, it's imperative that you keep on building that trust and the rapport throughout the property visit, right? You should be leveraging what you learned during the initial phone call throughout the walkthrough. Now, during the meeting, you should be checking to confirm that everything they told you about the property is true, right? So during the walkthrough, you may notice things that could slightly increase or decrease the home price, right? From the research you did before the meeting. Now, because you already know the ARV of the home before the meeting with the seller, knowing what you should offer should be easy, right? You're just going to subtract the estimated repair costs from what you observed during the walkthrough, along with your wholesale fee, and this is going to give you your MAO, right, or your maximum allowable offer. Now, remember, always start 10 to 20% below that maximum offer, so you have room to go up during negotiations. Now, if you've worked out a deal and negotiated a price that's below your MAO and come to an agreement with a seller, go ahead and break out that purchase and sale agreement, okay? And have that seller sign on the spot if possible, all right? Now, here are the 4 most important points on a purchase and sale agreement, all right? Number 1, price, obviously. That's a big one. Then the closing date. So this is the day that you and your cash buyer purchase the property and you get paid, all right? I put around 30 days in all my contracts. The next one is the earnest money deposit. Now, this is your good faith to purchase the property. Now, there is no set amount that you have to put down, but I do recommend, anywhere from $100 to $500. But keep in mind, if for any reason you can't fulfill the contract, the seller does have the right to keep this deposit. After that is the inspection period. Now, this is the time that you have to inspect the home further while having the opportunity to back out of the deal. Now, during this time period, you'll also be able to get your earnest money back, right? So extend this period as long as you can. I usually put on my contracts anywhere from 14 to 21 days. Now, once the contract is signed, the next step is to get some good photos of the house. Now, you're going to be using these pictures to make up a nice flyer with the property details and pictures to send to your cash buyer. So make sure you do get decent pictures. Now that you have your contract signed, you want to go ahead and send this to your closing company. Now, give your closing company your seller's phone number and email as well, just in case they have any questions on the payoff or any liens or anything like that. Now, they're going to work directly with the seller to help coordinate everything and make sure you have a nice, smooth closing. Now, this company is a vital part of your team and is going to help you throughout the entire closing process so you get paid, right? So when you're choosing a company, it's really important to make sure they're investor friendly. So make sure you find a company who performs regular closings with other investors in your area. So they should be very familiar with wholesaling and assignments of contracts. So what they're going to do is they're going to begin a title search on the property and make sure there's no liens or any other problems so you can assign a nice clean title. Now, the closing company will handle all the paperwork, transfer the titles, and distribute the funds to each party. So this is how you get paid. Now, one way to find a really good, investor-friendly closing company is to simply search house flipping and, wholesaling Facebook groups or forums like Bigger Pockets and see who other investors in your area are using. Now, most likely, they'll be a great fit for you as well. Now that you have a house under contract, pictures of it, the paperwork given to your closing company, you need to find cash buyers, okay? Now, growing your cash buyer list is key as you begin your wholesaling business. Now, cash buyers are the end buyers who will actually purchase the properties from your motivated sellers you found. Now, these buyers are usually either other investors who will fix and flip the property or hold on to it and rent it out. Now, keep in mind, you're going to want to start growing this list as soon as possible. I would not wait until you have a property under contract. Now, some of the best ways to find cash buyers are, number 1, just recent cash sales, okay? Have your real estate agent give you a list of all the recent cash sales in your area where the buyers have different mailing addresses than the property, all right? Another way is Facebook groups and online forums, okay? Join and start, networking inside these local and national real estate wholesaling Facebook groups, right? Search each of these pages for your given city and look for people saying, they're buyers and looking for deals, all right? And a third way is just to go to, local REI meetups and auctions, right? See who's active and looking for deals and network with them, right? These are perfect buyers for your homes. Now that you have your property under contract and a list of buyers, you should blast your entire list with a text message, email, or call. Now, send them a nice digital copy of the flyer you made up showcasing the property. Now, the more people you have on your list, the better chances you are of finding a buyer and getting the highest price possible. Now, after you reviewed your offers from the cash buyers, it's time to pick the best one and assign your contract. Now, for this, you're going to be using a separate assignment form, right, between you and the buyer. I also recommend once, the assignment contract has been signed, you get a proof of funds and collect a non-refundable deposit from your buyer. Now, this will decrease your chances of your buyer backing out of the contract. Now, at this point, you're going to want to send your closing company the assignment contract as well. So they're going to have two sets of contracts, one from you and the seller and one from you and the buyer. And you're going to get a check at the closing for whatever the difference is between the price you have it under contract for and the price you have it assigned for. At this point, you're just waiting on the closing day, and this is the date you first established on the purchase and sale agreement between you and the seller, and it'll be going to be taking place at your closing company's office. Now, on the day of closing, after all the documents are signed and your cash buyer closes, right, and the original seller gets paid for their home, you're going to receive your assignment check. That's it. So here's how the big picture of this works. You market for properties, you find undervalued properties and put them under contract, you find cash buyers to assign the contracts to, and you get paid the difference between the two. And the beautiful part is the only thing you need is a couple $100, for earnest money deposit and enough cash to market for properties. So that's a big picture overview of the process and exactly what I'll be covering in detail in my training program. It's my hope that you've gotten a ton of value from this class and you now have the foundation to do a deal on your own. But if you are interested in me personally mentoring you through every step of this business so you can fast track your success, I would love to talk to you about the opportunity. I've created an intensive 4-week course that is split into 4 informational pack modules. Each week I send you a week's worth of information that we actually implement together. All these weekly lessons are actually taught by me and accessible from anywhere in the world on any device. And after the course is completed, you'll still have full access to all the materials, so you can feel free to look back at any of the information at any time. All right, so let me tell you what this program is not, okay? This is not a program that just scrapes the surface, and it's not a program that I just send to you and I expect you to implement on yourself. And it's definitely not a program that's going to cost you an arm and a leg, and you'll end up getting nothing out of it. I've worked hard to create a learning experience unlike anything out there, okay? This program is geared towards the implementation of concepts that work and accountability. I believe in taking classes and find them extremely helpful, but I found in order to get the absolute most out of them, you need a mentor to personally help you through the material. Imagine your takeaways if you had someone personally helping you and explaining each module, right? Furthermore, imagine if this person held you accountable for completing each step to ensure your success. It's extremely important to me that you get real results from this program. That's why I've structured this class, completely different than what you may be used to. In addition to the 4 weekly modules, you'll be getting on the weekly phone call with me as well, where I'll lead you through that week's information. And during this call, you'll get additional deliverables, and you'll have the ability to bounce ideas off me, ask me questions, and get the type of support you need to find success. Building this relationship and getting real-time help will give you the complete confidence to implement everything that you're learning. Okay, let's face it, education and knowledge is great, but it comes down to the implementation of those concepts. And I want to be guiding you through this entire process, and I'm fully committed to personally helping every single person. So let's talk about the structure and how this class actually works. All right, week 1 is all about building the foundation to your business. And notice how I said business. This is not just teaching you how to do a single wholesale deal. I'm going to teach you the foundation and skill set that can change your life to create a scalable business, all right? So week one is all about just kind of setting up your business. First, we go right from the very, very basics, all right? I'm going to show you how to come up with a great company name, all right? Then I show you how to set up an LLC and bank account. Then we go into showing you how to set up multiple phone numbers to track your conversions. Then I show you how to set up a company website to help you convert your leads, all right? Then set up a branded company email. Then I show you how to set up a CRM system to keep all your leads organized, and I give you free templates to use. Then we get into marketing materials that you should order. First, I show you how to design your business cards and what should be on them. Then I show you the best converted bandit signs and the least expensive places to get them. All right, then I give you a template to copy from my credibility sheet so you can give this to your sellers. Now, this will help you stand apart from your competition and establish you as an expert and very trustworthy. All right. Then I show you how to get familiar with your local real estate market so you can gain knowledge and confidence so you can make informed decisions. All right. Then we go into learning how to find an investor-friendly real estate agent to be on your team. They'll help you assess home values and give you access to the MLS. In addition to that, I show you how to incentivize your realtor so you can create a mutual beneficial relationship. And lastly, but definitely not least, I show you the best ways to find an investor-friendly closing company, what questions to ask them, and make sure they are experienced working with wholesalers and performing assignments. Okay, week two is all about finding deals and cash buyers. So first off, I show you exactly in detail how to determine a home's value. Now, this step alone can depict whether you're successful or not in this business. So you're going to receive multiple examples to make sure you become an expert at this, all right? Then you start to learn in detail my repair cost formula along with how much you deduct for big ticket items that may be wrong with a property, all right? Number three, we go into my maximum offer formula extensively with real life examples. So you'll be confident in making offers and be sure you put a home under contract for the correct price. Then we dive deep into marketing. Now, this is one area where most successful investors shine. They're expert marketers. So I go extensively into the marketing and what you should do to give you the highest return on your investment and bring in the most money. Now, in addition to that, I show you the best motivated seller list to target, how often to update them, the best websites to get the list, and I give you video tutorials showing you exactly how to pull them. Now, you also learn how to start cold calling, the process to get the seller's phone number, the best skip trace services to use, and the frequency to call each lead. Plus, we're going to go over the best mailers to send that give the highest ROI, the best places to order them, and the frequency to send them. So, as you can see, by the end of this section alone, you're going to be an expert marketer and have an exact plan of action going forward. So, that's that. Then after that, number 5, we get into my follow-up protocol that will give you the greatest chances of turning leads into deals. And as you've probably heard, the money is in the follow-up. So I show you exactly how often to follow up with each lead depending on his temperature. And without the proper follow-up process, your chances of getting a deal are very slim because it's unlikely you're going to get a deal on the first meeting with a seller. And then lastly, on week 2, we go into my 12 best ways to find cash buyers. How to work with them, how to build a relationship with them, and how ultimately to get the most money out of your properties. And as you know, without knowing how to get great cash buyers, you will not be able to sign in your contracts and make any money in this business. Week 3 is all about how to talk to sellers and get a home under contract, okay? So first we dig into that initial phone call with a motivated seller and what you should be saying on the phone. I'll give you my exact inbound and outbound phone scripts that will highly increase your chances of a success. Now, in addition to that, I'm going to show you the exact questions to ask your seller so you can gauge their motivation and get an assessment of what the property is worth and if you should pursue the deal, right? Now next, if the phone call checks out, I show you what you should do before your meeting prepare, along with what websites you should use in order to look into the property so you can go in strong and confident, right? Based on the information they gave you. Then we go into how that in-person meeting should go, right? You'll learn the best way to build rapport, build credibility, come off as an expert, and make your seller feel at ease. After that, we go into negotiations heavily, okay? And I show you, what to say, things to point out on the house, and scripts you should use so you get a better deal on the property. Then we go into the purchase and sale agreement. I know there's a lot of questions around this. So I show you how to get access to the contracts, how to fill them out, and what additional items I recommend you include in those contracts to protect yourself. All right. Now that you have a signed contract, I show you the steps you should take and how to open up escrow in the title company, how to get pictures, why you need to put a lockbox on the house, and what to do during that inspection period. Okay. Next, we go in heavy onto how to find cash buyers. Now, you're going to learn what email marketing platforms you should use, right? How to use my digital flyer template, right? That's going to give you really high conversions. You're also going to learn other places to advertise your home to find cash buyers. And I show you, what you need to do and how to show that house to cash buyers if there is a homeowner living in the house. I then get you access to my assignment contract and show you how to assign that property for the most money possible, all right? Along with what items to get from your buyer, right? And what they should do before they sign the contract and how to get that earnest money from them. The final section of Chapter 3 goes into what you need to do the day of closing and what you've been waiting for, how to get paid. The final module, week 4, is all about advanced strategies, okay? So I first start off with some advanced marketing and growth strategies when you're wholesaling to help you scale your business. Now, these techniques will explode your business when you're ready, okay? Then I go in depth on outsourcing. Now, this is how you take your single person wholesale company to new depths so you can work on your business, not in your business. And I show you the first people you should think about hiring to grow a profitable team that can crank out deals daily, okay? Then I give you my roadmap for real estate investing, okay? I show you how I suggest you expand your real estate investment business into new techniques, okay? Like flipping and ground up construction and buy and hold rentals. Number 4, I go into house flipping. Okay, I'm going to show you the pros, the cons, who this is for, and the typical finance methods. Then we go into real estate development. I show you the same thing. Who it's for, the pros, the cons, and the best finance methods, right? Then rentals, same thing. This is where the long-term wealth is made. You're going to learn the pros, the cons, who it's for, and the best finance methods. Then the final section of this course goes in depth on financing all these strategies. I'm going to give you my 5 best ways to finance all of them, and I break it down in detail showing you the funding options that require the lowest down payment, okay? And I give you my exact formulas to use. Now, finally, I'm going to share with you my house flipping spreadsheet and how to budget and track all your expenses. So by the end of this module, you're going to know exactly how to scale your company and how to use your wholesale funds to finance these advanced strategies. Now, I know this is a ton of information. It can be overwhelming, but remember, you're going to be getting these modules one at a time, so you can devote your time to each one. Then every Wednesday evening, we'll get on our mentoring call to review the entire chapter. And during this call, you're going to have the ability to ask me questions and have me elaborate on concepts that you might not be grasping, so it's very, very hands-on. Now, in addition to the 4 modules and the weekly coaching calls with me to make sure you understand every step of the process and you're implementing everything, you're also going to be getting a few more things. So, number 1, you're going to be getting my 32 Days of Freedom workbook. So, this gives you a variety of weekly hands-on exercises, developed to teach you the essentials of real estate, right? Now, these tasks not only teach you the key points, but also push you to take the proper actions that will make you successful in this business. Now, each week I'm going to be giving you a variety of tasks to complete to hold you accountable and make sure you're implementing everything I'm teaching. All right. You also get all the supporting documents. So this is everything that you need to be successful as a new investor, right? I'll provide you with the most important documents and spreadsheets, such as the contracts, the phone scripts, intake forms, my credibility packets, my marketing templates, right? So these are just a few of the tools I'll be providing during the program, and this information alone is worth the price of the program. Now, you're also going to get the private training group. So this is where you have full access to me through my private 32 Days to Freedom Facebook group. So have a question, if you need pointers on a deal, whatever it may be, just simply post it in the group and I'll get back with a solution 24/7. So you're going to have access to all the other course participants as well. So it's a great place to network and brainstorm with other new investors. Then finally, you're going to be put in, once you complete, in my private graduates group. So here you'll be able to network with everyone that has graduated from this program so you can develop relationships, do JV deals, discuss advanced strategies, and get that ongoing support from me after the 4 weeks of mentorship. Now, at this very moment, you have two options, okay? Option one, you can continue to research this topic on your own, spending years figuring out what works and what doesn't through trial and error and unpredictable results. Or two, you can enroll in my personal mentorship program where I walk you through my entire business model so you can start seeing results and start making money. Now, I'll be working directly with you to deliver real results through hands-on coaching. Now, this is a hands-on program made for hands-on learners, and it's unlike anything else out there. This is your best and shortest way to success. So if you want to build your wholesale business the right way and learn what it takes to complete your first deal, then this program is right for you. If you want to learn a business model where you can hustle hard and make $50,000 a month, or maybe you just want to do one deal a month in your free time and make an extra $10,000, then this program is right for you. And if you want to learn an extremely lean business model where you can operate part-time, right, that requires no credit, no employees, no real estate license, and can be done in any real estate market in all 50 states, then this program is right for you. So right now, you should see a button below this video. Go ahead and click on that button and get enrolled in the training right now. Please keep in mind, though, that enrollment is very limited as I'm only one person and I can only personally teach so many people. So because of that, I can't take that many people, and I do have to close enrollment periodically to make sure I don't overbook. So if you think this training's for you, click the button under this video and enroll today. You will immediately receive a welcome packet, which provides insane value alone. So I'm telling you, this is an excellent training. I'm extremely proud of it. I stand behind it 100%, and I'm certain this program will exceed your expectations. When you click that button below, you're going to also have the option to pick a time to talk to me personally on the phone right before signing up if you wish, to make you feel more comfortable and be 100% certain this program is a good fit for you. I've opened up my schedule and I look forward to meeting you and discussing your real estate goals. So go ahead and click on that button and I'll see you in class.